All right, so the game that I can't really mention the name of because YouTube doesn't like a word that's in the title of this game, we'll just call it The Squad. The Squad has released, and I didn't buy it. Full disclosure, I saw enough warning signs in this game that I was like, yeah, I'm not giving my money to this. But I did watch a ton of gameplay, some people's first impressions, and all of the cutscenes, and I really wanted to share my thoughts with you. To be honest, am frustrated and was hoping I was wrong. I made a video a while back explaining why I was scared of this release, and the biggest reason was that it was going to be an always online game, that you had to always be online to play, and that terrified me because it means that if the servers ever shut down, you can't play this game anymore. But I didn't know all of the things that this was going to include in it, and so I want to cover it with you. And so I just want to say, this is full spoilers. I'm going to spoil a really big part of the game, and it's my main reason for feeling incredibly frustrated. And so if you care about it, don't watch this video. But I'm telling you, this is not worth your time to begin with, in my opinion. But full warning, I'm about to dive into full spoilers and share with you 3 of my thoughts about how Rocksteady has completely dropped the ball and butchered this franchise. So let's dive into it. So the first reason, the biggest reason, is what they did to Arkham Batman. Now, going into this game, I wasn't aware that this was canon in the Arkham universe. That this is literally the same universe that Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Knight, that all those games took place in. And knowing that has made me very upset. I think largely because of how they treated Arkham Batman, that we grew with this character for 4 games, seeing him develop, seeing him overcome insane obstacles and challenges. And he really was, for me, outside of the animated series, the definitive Batman. And he felt like, just like the animated series Batman, almost put into more of a Christopher Nolan realistic kind of vibe. And I loved that character. And so finding out that this was canon in the Arkham universe, I was like, oh, that's really interesting. Okay, let's see if maybe they explain how Batman survived or what kind of happened at the end of Arkham Knight, which they don't really do. It's kind of a short little thing you could skip, that's in the world, where essentially someone just kind of voices over like, oh yeah, after Arkham Knight, Batman kind of went to hiding, but then the Justice League invited him out and he decided to become friends with everybody. That's all we get to know about that journey with Arkham Batman. And then I think the biggest thing that has people upset is that they kill him. That Arkham Batman dies by getting shot by Harley Quinn. That there's no redemption arc for him in this story, that Bruce doesn't turn around and figure out what's going on or have some kind of a plan. And not only does Arkham Batman die at the hands of Harley Quinn just shooting him, which is, if you know anything about Batman, that's hard to believe that that's how he goes out. But he also kills the Bat family. So when Brainiac takes over, it's heavily implied that Batman murders the Bat family. So not only do we have a Batman who has murdered the Bat family, and this is the Batman from the Arkham games, but now we have a Batman who dies by just getting shot by Harley Quinn. This is Kevin Conroy's last performance, which I think also makes this a blow. And he didn't know this, and to be fair, he signed up to this game knowing what it was. I guarantee that him and Rocksteady had a great relationship after the Arkham games, and so he just trusted them. And he chose to do this. He didn't know this would be his last Batman project. I'd imagine that it's probably not the thing he would have chosen if he could have picked what's the last thing I'm going to do as Batman. But also knowing that, it's just kind of like, it really blows that they have killed the Arkham Batman, which means there's no hope for any Arkham games. Even if we were to get him now, we know that this is the fate of him. And it's not like he goes out a hero. It's not like he goes out even in a way that makes logical sense for Batman, that he just goes out getting shot by Harley Quinn. And not only that, it goes out while also murdering the entire Bat family. I don't know. In my brain, I'm just shutting that out and being like, I don't care what Rocksteady says. In my head, this is not canon in the Arkham universe, because I don't know. To me, if I think about this and what they portrayed as the fate of the Arkham Batman, it even taints the Arkham games. And so in my brain, I've just cut it off. I'm like, no, I don't care what Rocksteady says. This is not canon in my head. It's almost kind of like how I see the sequel movies for Star Wars of like, you know what? Let's just pretend that didn't happen. How about that? And man, it is so disappointing that they did this. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. And that's not even to go into how every single major hero, how do they defeat them? They shoot them. That's really it. There's no big plan. They don't really have to work with Wonder Woman. That they don't really do much that would justify. Like, it's shocking that Squad was able to kill all of these heroes fairly easily. And yeah, it's really disappointing that this is how this game played out. I know the game is called Kill the Justice League. That doesn't mean that I assume that they would kill the Justice League. You think that they would find a way to like free them from Brainiac's mind control, and that they would fight them and free them somehow. And you also think one of the Squad members would die, you know, in a game that's called that. And that there would be some casualty to them fighting the Justice League. But no, they're able to kill them all with relative ease, including our Arkham Batman. So that's great. Good thinking, Rocksteady. And then on top of that, I've seen the gameplay. I've heard people who've played it. It's boring as heck. You run around this world that feels very empty and very lifeless, because it is. And you shoot. You essentially, the gameplay is you got a gun. Every character has a gun. And what they do is you see kind of Brainiac things and you shoot the little orbs on the things, and that's the gameplay. It's very repetitive. It's, I would say, worse than the Avengers gameplay. That I am shocked that Rocksteady, who made a trilogy of incredible superhero games, that this is what they pumped out for gameplay. It's really disappointing. From everybody I've heard from, I haven't heard a single differing opinion. It's as boring to play as it is to watch. And so they dropped the ball there. I don't have much to say. It just sucks. The third thing is how crazy this launch has been. That people have pre-ordered the game, are supposed to be able to play it early, and it's been an absolute gong show. That the servers weren't working. That even this morning recording it, they were having issues with the servers still working. That people had this weird glitch that somehow made it into the game, where if you started the game, for some people it would automatically complete it for you, spoiling the story, and you would automatically enter the end game of the game, which is, wow, I don't even know how that is possible and how that happened, but that was a glitch that lots of people were experiencing. And the whole launch has just been a gong show. I genuinely am not happy that this game has ended up the way it was. I wish this game was like Guardians of the Galaxy, where I saw clips and images and I thought this game looks terrible, and then was able to get my hands on it and was like, wow, this is actually so good, and the story is so well done, and the reviews came out and people were like, hey, this is actually a really great game, and we're sorry that we judged it too hard before we were able to play it. But it's not. The game is exactly the way it looked. It's just as disappointing as we feared it would be. And on top of all that, I think, to be honest, the biggest sting is that this is canon in the Arkham universe and has killed one of the greatest franchises of video game, superhero genre, whatever, heroes in the Arkham Batman. And that this is how he goes out. And this is the end of his story. And he essentially dies in a D-tier superhero villain team-up game that is really poorly made by a company who can do better, who we've seen knock it out of the park, but for some baffling reason has released this, which is honestly really confusing. Knowing what they're capable of, it's honestly kind of shocking. But with that being said, I want to know what you guys think. So head down to the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts. Are you upset like me over the fate of Arkham Batman and that this is canon? Or does it work for you? Are you not upset? Have you played the game? Is it as boring as it looks, or have you actually enjoyed it? Let me know in the comment section down below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that junk, and I will see you guys in the next one.